Eric, that was obviously a wild win. Just what are your thoughts after it? Relief or what?
I mean, I give our guys a lot of credit to be able to lead a game, for 41 minutes. Give A&M a lot of credit as well. They put themselves in a great opportunity to potentially walk out of here with the W after only leading for a minute 24 in the game. But I thought we had a lot of guys make big plays. Obviously, the mid-range shot that Jalen hit at the end of the shot clock. The press break read to throw over the top to finish the game. But it was a great basketball game to watch, great basketball game to participate in. I'm sure with the players, it was a great game to play in for both groups. And I thought Taylor, as a freshman, had an incredible game as well for Texas A&M.
I assume they wanted to foul Devo, but I guess they couldn't get to him. What'd you think of the play he made to avoid fouling, getting fouled, getting ahead to Stanley? Would you rather seen Stanley like dribble that back, or did you like him going for the dunk, or just what?
I think as a player, because it almost looked like he could have ended up with a foul shot too on the play. But no, I think anytime you can go get two, rather than, he might have been able to eat up a second or two, but they still would have had a little bit of time on the clock. So I think he made the right read. There's times where we're on the bench trying to back it out, but that was one, particular time that I thought Devo made a great read. Stan made a good decision. And you take the 2 points, especially with that little amount of time left.
You lost the 6-point lead in the final minute of regulation. Just how did the guys regroup there before that overtime period? What was the message? And then to do it without JD on the floor, I mean, how big was that for this group?
Huge. I mean, we all know, leading scorer in the league. You don't have to watch us too long to know that we run a lot of things through him and with him. Didn't particularly have good play in the regulation, behind him. And so, when it went into overtime, it was, hey, forget anything that happened the first 40 minutes. We got 5 minutes to play. And the one thing we got to hang our hat on is we got to defend at the same level we have been, because we're defending at a level that's really elite right now. And so it was more talking about that. I knew offensively it might not look pretty. But I thought defensively we were pretty doggone good for an entire game, and in overtime as well.
And then Jalen Williams, I mean, another double-double, 6 steals. I don't know what's left to say about him, but just his impact on the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, at the center spot to have 6 steals, that's a lot of extra possessions that he's gathering for us, and great shot selection. I think that's something that's not talked enough about with a player is when a player has great shot selection. We know he's a really good passer, so he starts the year off being a great passer and a ball distributor for us. Now he's added the offense, and he's rebounding at a high level. And now the defensive steals, become extremely important as well.
Stan finished with 15-7, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was just in here a minute ago saying the favorite number on his stat line was those 7 rebounds. Just what did you think of him tonight, and just what kind of growth are you seeing from him lately?
Yeah, I would say, if you look across our roster, I mean, he's improved as much as any player. He came to Arkansas as a guy that could score the basketball. We knew that. His shot selections improved dramatically. And as we've told you guys, and we tell him obviously a lot more behind closed doors or in individual film sessions, you got to rebound the ball in the SEC. And he's now doing that. He's a really tough cover because he's got a mid-range game. He's got a post-up game. We ran a couple quick hitters for him tonight, one for a bucket and then one for an assist. And it was really important that we had his offense, especially when JD got in some foul trouble, because if you really look at the runs that Texas A&M had, it was that last minute of regulation. It was the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half when JD wasn't in. That's when they made their significant runs. And so we needed Stan and Jalen. We needed those guys to step up. And the other guy that I think's done an incredible job for us is a DC Tony as well. And then, since we've gone on this little win streak, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but Trey Wade's been so solid. I mean, he guards his guy. We never say did his man score. He's always given great help. He's got to rebound the ball. But he is doing an incredible job as a help defender and guarding his own guy. Yeah, he actually stretches the floor. I mean, behind closed doors with this, he's not a guy that's going to put it on the deck and shoot a three. But with his feet set, and if you look at his past history at his other two schools, I mean, he can make a three with his feet set. And he works on it a lot on his own. So certainly we have not told him not to shoot, especially when some teams maybe back off him a little bit. I think he's done a great job with his 3-point shot selection. He's not taking a high volume of them, but when he is taking them, feet set, clear look at the rim. Same thing with Jalen. We want both those guys at the 4 or 5 spot to continue to take open threes when they have them.
Just informationally, with about 20 seconds left in regulation, there was a shot clock violation. I thought that Williams hit the ball hit the rim and then they blew do you know what happened there on that?
No, I don't. I wish I could tell you, Grant, that, I thought so too, if you saw my reaction, but we'll take the win and I don't know what they do in this league, but I don't want to get fined. So I'll just shut up.
Eric, you guys start off real high. You're up 20-4. It looks like it might be Missouri part 2. And then obviously A&M recovered. I think you guys end up shooting about 35%. I hadn't seen the final stats, but well, what do you think happened with, the offense? Was that, you have to give A&M credit, or did you guys just go cold? What do you think happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in the game, but very seldom does a game go, a whole distance like it did against Missouri. They're going to make a run. I mean, the game at A&M in College Station, we got off to a really good start too. I mean, we watched it today at our team meal. We got up like 20-8, and they're a team that's scrappy and competitive. And you look at their record, they got a heck of a record. So they're going to keep coming at you. And I think really what happened is JD got the 2 fouls. I sat him, and then Taylor just got red hot. I mean, they had one guy that went like 5 for 5 in the first half. And then you look at all their other numbers, and we did not a good job, but a phenomenal job on everybody except him in that first half. And they had a player get really hot, make some threes, and now that thing gets, that lead gets shrunk.
Devo supposed to foul with 5.5 left there?
No.
Okay. And it's always a debate.
Later in the, but not that particular time with the lead we had.
Debate when you're up 3 with a few seconds left. Do you foul or do you make them make a 3? I guess you obviously are of the philosophy, make them make a 3, or just what do you think has?
Yeah, I think it depends on your team. I think it depends on your rebounding. I think it depends on the other team's rebounding. Is the other team a good free throw rebounding team? But that's all part of your scouting report going into the basketball game. I know when the timeout happened, I think they had 16 seconds left. Well, we're not going to foul at that time with 16 seconds. And I'm not going to tell a group of young men with a lot of new faces, hey, we're going to foul at 5 or we're going to foul at 6. I didn't feel comfortable. Now, if they would have called a timeout at 5 or 6, then that would have definitely been part of the discussion, just like it was later, in the ball game. But they have some good offensive rebounders. So you play it out. I know all the numbers. It's pretty split, both college and the NBA, on what you should do.
You guys, you won by 44. You won in overtime. Just this 4-game roll you're on. You're over 500 league now. Just how do you feel about where you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not happy where we started, but all you can do is go to practice, get better. I think we have gotten better. We didn't stay status quo with the lineup. We changed not only our starting lineup, but we changed our rotations. We tinkered. We kept trying to figure things out. And this group, at least right now, has played really, really well as a starting unit. We have a big group. We have a physical group. We have a defensive group. And we have a group that shares the basketball. And sometimes one little piece, like Trey Wade as a ball mover, can really, really help. And then making a move where a DC Tony is now one of the biggest longest off guards of any starting lineup across the country. That helps us as well.
Play on the bench, I don't think, is he?
Clay's out with safety and health or whatever for the last few
protocols?
games. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for getting me out of here on that.